Oh my God. Firstly, you know what? No one needs to know about the audio thing. There was no microphone whatsoever, but now it's all figured out, it's all working. We've just come out of the movie, The Plot Against Harry. So The Plot Against Harry was actually made in about 1968, but it didn't have any distribution, and no one really saw it until it had some revival, but I don't know how big the revival was, but now it was showing at the Jewish International Film Festival. It was about Jewish racketeers in New York, especially one guy called Harry Plotnick, who's just gotten out of prison and is trying to re-enter life in Brooklyn. And there's an ex-wife, and there's the daughter, and then the other daughter wants to be a model, and he's his business partners, and he's trying to make good, and he's got the Italian people he's trying not to piss off, and he's got his parole officer up his ass, and it's so idiosyncratic and so much fun. Maaryasha, what did you think of the movie?
It reminded me very much of another movie. Should I tell you what it was? Do you want to guess? I immediately was reminded. It reminded me so much of Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
The chaos within Jewish life, wife and kids, but he keeps fucking it up and he kind of can't quite get there, and you want him to survive, but you know it's going to end badly. Like, you just know he can't, he's just...
The habits die hard because he's built up so many things with the bad habits. It's kind of like a house of cards. And also the fact that he keeps getting interrupted by a bris, a wedding, all these sorts of stuff as well.
It was quite a funny movie, and it was a good picture of the late 60s of New York Judaism. He's having meetings in all these places, all these good people getting caught up in it. The way you meet his ex-wife was hilarious.
Somebody cuts him off and he thinks, I'm going to teach him a lesson. He runs him off the road effectively, gets out of the car, like a clown car, they all start coming out. Not only is it his ex-wife, but it's his daughter he never met, his daughter's husband, his daughter's pregnant, and his granddaughter's even in the car, and it's so hilarious. A schlemazel, I guess, something like that.
He's like a bad gangster. He seemed to have had a bit of success at some point. He's pretty bad at what he's doing, I think, yeah.
It's something that struck me about it is how strong their Jewish culture is. They're obviously not religious, but they have such a strong Jewish culture. That would have been our grandparents' sort of style. But then everyone became very religious and found spirituality. I look at that and I'm like, they're so strongly Jewish and their community is so strong without being religious. Why can't we just have stayed like that, is what I was thinking, without all the other shit.
I think most Jews agree with you because it's really hard, and I feel differently to you. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I think I can understand why that also might not be enough for some people. Definitely most Jews feel like you, but that is enough for them. But don't you think here there was like the Italians and the Spanish and the Jews?
It's about culture and community, which can be very fulfilling, but not necessarily spiritually fulfilling.
Yeah, it was a very active Jewish community. It was funny though. The way that they played that off was funny. Also, what was that temple thing?
Oh, that was so funny. It was kind of like the Freemasons or the Knights Templar. You know how sometimes men are part of these secret societies? It was very unexpected.
I'm not a movie buff like you, but you know how from that era there was also some like wacky stuff like Monty Python.
And also the intercuts with women dancing. That's very 60s as well.
The telethon? Yeah, there was a bit of slapstick when he kind of fainted behind the performer.
Sometimes it's surprising when you see an old movie. I saw Bernardo Bertolucci film and you think, oh, these great directors can be so serious. And then you watch them and there's a fair amount of slapstick. It's chaos. There's something surreal. It's so silly and goofy.
I wasn't expecting it to be like a schlemazel gangster, actually, with all the bris and stuff. I know maybe now that I think about it, if you think of a Jewish gangster, you could think like that, but I was really thinking it was going to be much more serious and like Meyer Lansky and what I had read, but actually it wasn't. And how also he was still gambling while he's telling everyone that he's not, right? All the numbers, yeah.
He was fully gambling on the phone. You remember in Analyze This? You know, that movie with Robert De Niro when he's like a gangster going to therapy? Billy Crystal. It's something very appealing about the schlemazel gangster, a gangster with anxiety or neuroses. So it's funny that this was so much older than, for example, Analyze This.
But at the end, like, who's that guy, the rabbi? And then it suddenly dawned on him that it's a cop at the end.
Yeah, because he thinks he's dying, so he confesses to everything. And then he isn't dying, he's just...
anxious?
Constipated. And then he realized he's confessed to everything in the ambulance, and his lawyer's like, who was in the ambulance? He's like, this one, that one, some rabbi, a cop. So goofy. I really enjoyed that.
Also, it was sweet with his ex-wife because they kind of still kind of love each other but hate each other. She kind of hates him, but she loves him as well. She's like, yeah, I was the one that dobbed on you too.
So that was the plot against Harry playing at JIFF.
It's the plot because he's Plotnik, right?
Plotnik.
Harry Plotnik.
Harry Plotnik. That was a great time. Good. All right. Thanks, Maaryasha. Thanks for coming along. Movies with interesting people.
Thanks for having me.
Bit of audio issues at the beginning, but live and learn. Anyways, that's it. Bye.
Bye.